Welcome back to Legendary Writing, y'all. Today we're going to talk about 3 major mistakes writers make that can completely destroy their stories. And big name blockbusters and movie writers make these mistakes all the time too, so don't think you're immune. You're not. Jumping right into it, number 1 is foreshadowing is not character development. Foreshadowing hints at what will happen, while character development tells us why it will happen. With well-developed characters, the audience can make educated guesses about what the characters will do next, and it should make sense within the context of who the characters are and what they want. When you add foreshadowing to good character development, you can build a sense of dread and uncertainty as the scene plays out. On the other hand, if you foreshadow what will happen next, but you don't have character development to support it, the audience may expect the outcome, but that doesn't mean the outcome will make any sense. So imagine if the Dalai Lama said to you, "I'm going to break into your house, I'm going to kill all of your goldfish." And then he actually does it. Imagine if he did that. You would expect the outcome because he said he'd do it, and he did it. But at the same time, it makes no sense with who he is and what his goals are. So remember, foreshadowing is not character development. 2, spectacle is not story. Don't get me wrong, like most people, I have scenes that really get me amped up, okay? I love watching 2 armies smash together at full tilt. I love watching 2 epic warriors have a battle in some high-up structure, which is probably why I was super into Star Wars when I was little. And I absolutely love anything to do with magic or superpowers or people blasting beams of energy at each other. But just because I love these things and just because I think they're epic doesn't mean I'm invested in them. And there's a big difference. When characters are poorly developed or I don't feel like the consequences are real enough in the battle, I feel like I'm watching 2 kids smash Transformers together instead of a masterfully crafted story. The truth is, no amount of scale can make up for a lack of substance, and no amount of flair can make up for a lack of depth. Why should I care about which of the 2 massive armies wins the battle if I don't care about anybody who's fighting in those battles? Why should I care about the consequences of the battle if the consequences don't feel real enough or the stakes high enough? So remember, spectacle is not story. Number 3, surprising the audience is not a substitute for a sensible plot. Sometimes writers make their characters act completely counter to their identities just to stir up more drama. And sometimes it seems like the writers will put plot holes in their stories just so they can say, "Hey, I bet you didn't expect the main character to fall in that plot hole, huh? I got you. The truth is, there's no excuse whatsoever for sabotaging your story for the sake of surprise. Shock should be the outcome of a coherent and compelling scene, not the end-all goal. Shock, surprise, suspense, these things are a method of delivery for the plot, not the package itself. This is the difference between a good horror movie and a haunted house. A good horror movie has a plot, a narrative, character, story, whereas a haunted house is just a predetermined route that you go through trying not to be scared by teenagers in makeup. Ooh, spooky. And keep in mind, it's good to have shock. It's good to have suspense. These things make your story great, but they're not the main ingredient. And for a story that will bear your name until the end of time and serve as a testament to your skill as a writer, you shouldn't sabotage a good plot, a good story, a good narrative, just for the sake of shocking your audience. These 3 rules are simple yet critical for you to succeed as a writer. Because again, making these mistakes have tanked even the biggest budget movies and TV shows out there. So before you write your first novel or even your last novel, remember that 1, foreshadowing is not character development. Foreshadowing hints at what will happen, while character development explains why. 2, spectacle is not story. No amount of scale can make up for a lack of substance, and no amount of flair can make up for a lack of depth. And 3, surprising your audience is no substitute for a sensible plot. Shock and suspense are great, but they're a method of delivery for the story, not the end-all goal. Anyone can be a writer, but it takes skill, knowledge, and practice to become an unforgettable one. Videos like these aim to teach you the kind of skills you need to excel and to craft a story that is true to your personal vision for what you want, while still impressing critics, editors, and readers alike. So if you like this video, please like it and subscribe for more. Feel free to support me on Patreon. Right now, the first 10 people to sign up get a free critique on their work, 5,000 words or less. Don't forget to join the legendary writing community on Instagram for tons of creative writing tips, tricks, strategies, inspiration, and of course, writing memes. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Ryan Rudell, Legendary Writing. Have a great day, and as always, happy writing.